Hello, everyone! We are live, and hopefully solved the crunchy audio issue, I'm really hoping. I hope, because... yeah, that was unfortunate, but hopefully we're not as crunchy this time. If there is anybody in chat and the audio sounds funky, just let me know. I know there's so very rarely people in chat, and I get that, but yeah, if there is anything, just say the word. I've got a dog with me. There he is, you can just see him. As soon as I decide to go live, he decides he wants fuss. So, there he is. Yeah, there he is, look at him, look at his little face. Oh, he's getting cut off, so you can't see him all that well, but he's there. He is there. Right, that is still kind of reaching red, so if we bring that down just a little bit... are we still crunching? Are we still crunching? Are we still crunching? Are we still crunching? Yes, we're still crunching. What if we bring that right down to like -20? And I've got to bring the game audio down. God, who knows how this sounds. So it's still, even though... okay. It still says it's peaking, even though... interesting. Okay, let's have a look here. Let me have a little listen, and we'll see if I can figure out exactly what's going on. I don't really know what's going on, but there we go. Let me just mute this for a second while I load this up. No, okay, I think we're alright. I think that kind of works. But yeah, do let me know if things do get a bit crunchy, or we have some audio issues. But let's play the game. That's probably the main thing right now, isn't it? Play the game. I might up myself just a little bit. Let's go to 20. Yeah, that sounds right. Right! We'd unlocked the old, whatever this is. Timeline dealy. What do they call it? Story chart. And we can go back to Kinshibori Park, Part 2. So let's have a summary of the previous events. Shogo Okie is with Yoko Fukunaga at Kinshibori Park, searching for one of the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. His interest in the occult starts to grow as he learns more about it from Yoko. So let's... do we want to resume or restart? I assume we want to restart, right? Or do we? Hold on. Must be... any incomplete chapters must be restarted from the beginning. Yeah, okay. So if we go here and go to resume... ah! Naruhodo. Okay. Start from the beginning. How is the right related to the mysteries? Something's happening to Yoko. I don't think we want to start from the beginning. I don't think that's right. Something's happening to Yoko is definitely where we'll go with that for now, and we can always come back. That's the genius of it. Whoa! What the hell? Feels like the air just changed. And then she's... Yoko, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Stay with me. No, this can't be. No. I think something's got Yoko really rattled. Okay, so this... something going on over here, right? Do we... like, she's either pointing at me... I feel eyes on my back, I can't move. Is there something behind me? I think got Yoko really rattled. So there's not a whole lot I can really do here. Why? Yoko! Yoko! It's no use, she's at no condition to talk. Keep yelling her name. Huh? What? Is calling her name really gonna help? I'm already yelling as hard as I can. Shouldn't I look for what's causing this? There's nothing there. Yoko, hang in there. Yoko, look at me. You're gonna be okay. It's alright, there's nothing there. Ah! Yoko! Okay. We did whatever it was that has now unlocked Kinshibori Park 3 tick. Alright. Shogo cries Yoko's name in a desperate attempt to wake her as she lies, unmoving on the ground. As she lies, unmoving on the ground. Will his pleas get through to her? We'll have a look, shall we? Shogo Okie 1 AM. Kinshibori Park. Yeah, we know all this. We know this. Hmm? Huh? Oh, good, you're awake. What? Are you okay? You were so rattled and confused, I thought you'd really lost it. Do you feel dizzy? Have a headache? Are your humors off balance? Wait, what did you say? I think I've heard that before. You're the one who said it earlier. Oh, right, that might have been it. My humors were off balance. What, back there? You ended up like that because of your humors? Yeah, I've heard that at this age, your humors being even a little bit off can be fatal. I'm glad you're back to normal now. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause you so much trouble. But I really don't remember what happened. Sounds like what happened to me. Maybe this place is dangerous somehow. What? Are you backing out? Yeah, it just doesn't feel safe to me, and I'm worried about you. Let's call off today's investigation. Come on, I just started feeling back to normal, too. Nope, not happening. Go home. I'll even pay for your cab fare, okay? I ended up having to force still protesting Yoko into a taxi. Even then, she still wouldn't stop complaining. So to placate her, I promised I'd search the park on my own for a little while longer. Okay. Well, we've avoided Yoko dying. Oh, right, okay, so this is the next day, I guess? Or, well, this was like, what, 3 AM or something like that? Kinshibori Park Part 4, Shogo Okie. Summary of previous events. Worried about Yoko after a bizarre incident, Shogo decides to call off their investigation into the mysteries for the night. Despite her stubborn objections, he manages to persuade her by offering to continue the search on his own. There's one thing I just want to check. So this is Part 3 tick. Oh, right, okay, because that's Part 3. So that's Part 3 tick, and then Part 3 tick leads to Part 4. Gotcha. Okay, I'm aware of what's going on. I understand. That's where the timeline split. Okay, it's now 5 AM. in Kinshibori Park. It's 5 AM somewhere in Kinshibori Park. In further news... Oh shit. Before dawn today, a police officer on patrol discovered a man collapsed in a Sumida city park. The man was taken to hospital, but his death was confirmed shortly after. Investigations are still underway, but police suspect a connection to the other unexplained deaths found in the area around the same time. He got got! He got got! Paranormasight. Oh, late title card! The Seven Mysteries of Honjo. This would have been a better place to end it yesterday, but here we are. Written and directed by Takanari Ishiyama. That's the bridge, we recognise that. Producer Kazuma Oshu. I'm not going to read all these. I've decided. I made up my mind. But I can have a drink now, which is nice. Zine Ink. Whoops. Okay, we cleared the prologue. Nice. Well done in your efforts thus far. This brings Shogo Okie's story to a close. Oh, okay. But this is not the end. Far from it. In fact, this is where the story finally begins. The roots of the 3 protagonists have now been unlocked. 3 protagonists, okay. Harue Shigima, a woman who lost her son when he was kidnapped and murdered. Tetsuro Tsutsumi, the chief inspector of the 1st Investigative Division, who is looking into the death of an officer in the line of duty. Yako Sakazaki, a high school girl who wants her to bring her friend back from the dead, a girl who died in a suspicious suicide. Each of them is burdened with circumstances that leave them no choice but to seek the rite of resurrection. Following these 3 storylines will reveal the full nature of all that is occurring. With that, please enjoy the continuation of this tale. Okay, so... Alright, we can zoom in and out, that's cool. I guess we don't care about Shogo at all, or Yoko even, maybe? So we've got the crime scene investigation and the spirit board, and then a little bit later we've got Not Dreams. Let's start with Yako. Spirit board, Yako Sakazaki. Yako Sakazaki searches for the rite of resurrection, hoping to revive her friend who jumped to her death. To get the information she needs, she meets with her classmate Mio Kurosuzu in their classroom at midnight to attempt using a spirit board. Yako Sakazaki, 12 AM. Komagata High School. That should be everything. Okay, let's start. Ready for this, Yako? I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready. High school student Yako Sakazaki. Let's have a look at Yako. She's a female and a high school student and has some sort of curse echo. We know that she has some sort of curse echo, but we don't know what yet. Yako is a student in Class 2C at Komagata High School, unable to comprehend why her childhood friend and classmate Michio Shiraishi committed suicide. She attempted to investigate the incident herself. However, she was unable to make any progress and, feeling desperate, invited transfer student Mio Kurosuzu to join her in performing a spirit board ritual. Born and raised in Honjo, Sumida City, Yako's family has owned and operated the beloved candy shop Sonoya since its establishment in the early Showa era. I keep saying area. Era. Ugh. Despite her modest appearance, Yako is a cheerful and vivacious young woman with a sense of duty and compassion so strong that she is easily moved to tears. She is also a bit quick-tempered and quarrelsome, always prepared to stand up against those who harm her family or friends. It is possible, however, that this readiness to fight is more driven by an innate love of chaos. Yako's winning streak against arrogant boys in scraps since she was a child remains unbroken, and is the source of considerable stress for her mother. Alright, let's start. This is the spirit board. This is how we'll be communicating. Shadow, that's not how we're communicating. Shadow, go to bed. Go to bed. Good boy. First, we'll both put a finger on the 10-yen coin that's on the board. Alright, is that me doing... Okay, yep, there we go. Like this? Just like that. Relax your finger as much as you can. Now for the chant. Repeat what I say, okay? Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, please visit us. Your turn. Spectre of the Spirit Board. Oh. Spectre of the Spirit Board. Please visit us. Spectre of the Spirit Board, Spectre of the Spirit Board, please visit us. Good. Please tell us if you are there. Whoa, it really moved. Looks like we succeeded in the summoning. We can ask questions now. Right, questions. Start with a question you know the answer to and see the response. Then, when you know your questions are being answered truthfully, you ask what you really want to know. Okay, I'll start with something simple. What is my name? I think it should know the answer to this. Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, what is my name? Huh? What's the matter? How strange. No. Huh? It told me no. Ah, I bet it means it doesn't know. It may be the Spectre of the Spirit Board, but it doesn't know everything. Is this spirit really the real deal? It's fine. I feel like it's giving me attitude. What is this place? Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, where are we? H, I, G, H, S, C, H, O, O, L. High school. High school! High school, that's right! The answers don't seem to be very precise. What is this girl's name? Fine, what is the name of the girl across from me? M, I, O. Mio, that's right. It's not fair. It knows your name, Mio. It even used that weird character you used to spell your name. How flattering. Psychic girl Mio Kurosuzu. I'm guessing that this one is the weird character here? Is that Zoo? Because you don't see that very often. Mio Kurosuzu, female, high school student, maybe a curse echo, maybe not. Mio transferred to Class 2C at Komagata High School around 2 months ago. Although she is an extremely mild-mannered young woman, she exudes a somewhat off-putting, dark aura, which makes it difficult for her to form friendships. Mio has, however, found a friend in her classmate Yako Sakazaki, and has begun opening up to her little by little. The truth of the matter is that Mio is the apprentice of a famous psychic. Possessing exceptional spirit sense, she takes on the troublesome task of surreptitiously handling spiritual disturbances that break out in schools across Tokyo before they become a problem. She transfers schools frequently as a result, and thus has trouble making human friends. Why did you have to quantify it as human friends? That's weird. Anyway, Mio has already solved an incident at Komagata High School involving a female student possessed by a spirit. Although she takes effort to hide her spirit sense, many develop an impression that Mio has a deep knowledge of the occult and the paranormal upon first meeting her, leading her to be anxious that her secrets have been exposed. The most common comment she receives is that she seems to get along well with crows and black cats. Sure, why not? I bet. Even the teachers get it wrong all the time. I guess these paranormal beings just tend to take a liking to you. Huh? I don't know how I should feel about that. Okay. I'll ask it again. What is my name? No. Didn't even hesitate this time. Tch. Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, are you truly the Spectre of the Spirit Board? Oh, it's not. Huh? It said no. Is it lying? Not quite. The Spectre of the Spirit Board is just a temporary name we call them when using the board. We're actually calling a spirit with a strong tie to this place, or one of the people participating. In other words, a spirit that just happened to be nearby just felt like answering. They don't really think of themselves as the Spectre of the Spirit Board. Oh, really? Huh. Feels like some of the mystique has disappeared. Do you mind if I still call you Spectre of the Spirit Board? Yes. Okay. Thanks. Always good to remember to say please and thank you. Alright, Spirit Board, here we go. Due to the occult craze, divination has become popular among young boys and girls. All one needs is a coin and a piece of paper with letters and numbers written on it. Using these, all one has to do is ask a question of the called upon spirit, and it will move the coin in answer. It is believed to be a tool that was adopted from Western spiritualism and moulded by Japanese occult enthusiasts. Though it is considered a form of divination, the ritualistic nature of its usage can cause self-hypnosis or autosuggestion, leading to hallucinations or symptoms similar to spirit possession. Many schools banned these spirit boards after there were several cases of students sneaking into schools at night, in addition to stories of people having seizures when using the boards. Alright, it's time to try asking the serious questions. Yeah. Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, what is the name of the boy Mio has a crush on? Hey! You gonna ask that kind of question? Doesn't everyone ask that kind of stuff with spirit boards? Besides, I'm curious. No, let's not do this. No. Boo, spirit's no fun. I guess that means... Huh? It said no. I guess that must mean you don't have a crush on anyone. Whew. Yeah, that's it. No is correct. Let's move on. Or maybe... Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, do you mean the boy isn't in our class? Wow! Hey! Stop that! Don't make me exercise you! If that's the case, then... Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, is it a teacher at our school? Oh, no good, huh? Phew. Yakko, cut it out already. We made the effort to sneak in at night. We shouldn't waste time with these questions. You've got a point. Alright, Michio's cause of death. Okay, here I go. I'll be serious now. Yes, please. Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, did Michio Shiraishi in our class, who died by committing suicide by jumping 1 week ago, really commit suicide? No. So it really wasn't. I'm not surprised. I never believed it from the start. Now's the important part. Yeah. Okay. Ah, there she is. Michio Shiraishi. Female, high school student, doesn't have a curse echo on account of being dead. Michio was a second-year student at Komagata High School. She was found deceased 1 week ago in a back alley off South Warigesuri Street. Her entire body broken and severely contorted. Police determined that Michio committed suicide by jumping from a nearby apartment building. As there was no suicide note, the police based their conclusion on interviews with Michio's peers. Michio was an honest student with a good head on her shoulders and consistently excellent grades, making her a favourite among the teachers. Although she appeared somewhat reserved, she had a positive outlook on life and a courageous spirit. Michio and Yakko formed a long-lasting friendship during childhood, with Yakko's unbending, uncompromising attitude deeply influencing Michio. However, beneath her strong exterior, Michio had been pushing herself too hard and keeping her emotions bottled up to the point that they risked overflowing. Following her father's death 3 years ago and moving to a new house, Michio began avoiding Yakko. Although the two remained in the same area of town and attended the same high school, they gradually grew further apart. Yakko herself worried for her childhood friend, but, incapable of wading into the complexities of Michio's home life, kept a distance. The days passed, and though Michio longed to confess everything to Yakko, the moment to do so never came. Michio carried an old talisman, a memento of her father, with her at all times. Alright. Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board. Did Michio Shiraishi die in an accident? It said yes. So it was an accident and not a suicide. Michio. Then did she slip and fall from that apartment building? Huh? She didn't? What do you mean? Michio didn't die falling from the apartment building? No way! If that were true, then why was she lying on the ground like that in the back alley of the apartment building? It was an accident, but not a fall? Oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, what happened to Michio on that day? Seems like it doesn't know the details. Where is the rite of resurrection? Then how about, oh, Spectre of the Spirit Board, we want to use that rite of resurrection to bring Michio back to life. Do you know where the rite of resurrection is? I wonder. Huh? Ah! What? What is this? Stop. I'm scared, Mio. Calm down. You can't let go before it's over. Ah! Such deep sorrow. A resentful memory is flowing into my mind. The fool's possession. Those who hear it shall fall into the depths of hell. Kill them! Kill them! Those who hear this sound! Kill them all! You have acquired the power of the cursed stone, the Fool's Procession. You can use it to kill those who hear the sound produced by the curse echo for more than 30 seconds. The effect will be negated if you are seen in that time. Press the Use Curse button to produce the sound. Okay. Let's have a look here. The Fool's Possession, Enduring Superstition. We've read all this. And we've got a cursed power. Kills by fatal fall one who hears its music for 30 seconds without seeing the curse bearer. A resentful memory. Omio stood atop the tall festival tower. It was her time to shine, and she was ecstatic. It had been years since she joined the troupe, but she had yet to enjoy her day in the spotlight. She wasn't particularly pretty, nor was she all that talented. As a gossip and a loudmouth, she wasn't well liked by her peers. Some of the other girls thought of her as a teacher's pet and bullied her. I don't care about them, she thought. I'll use this chance to make something of myself. Everything was perfect. She wore a beautiful kimono and an okame mask over her face. The stage was set. The accompaniment began. She danced with everything she had. Applause rained down on her from the crowd. Her breathing hastens with excitement. I've got to catch my breath. That's strange. I can't take my mask off. The smell of glue assaulted her nostrils. So that's how it is. I knew it was too good to be true. Her screams were drowned out by the music as she squirmed and struggled. Omio is giving it her all today, and we have to keep up. The crowd livened even more. No, no, please, someone help me. She fell from the tower, writhing in pain as she begged those around her for help. The music stopped in time with Omio's heart. Nope, we just read that. What am I doing? Ah! A murderous impulse steeps into my soul like thick black tar. Now. Kill. Can you hear it, Curse Bearer? You who so strongly desires the right. Kill them. Okay, now we're faced with a question. Do we want to continue her story, or do we want to do someone else's? I'm kind of of the opinion that we should see one person's story all the way through before jumping around. Yeah. Let's do that. 2 things to remember, Yako Sakazaki. Summary of previous events. The information they gain from the spirit board suggests that Michio's death was not a suicide. When they continue to press the spirit board for the location of the Rite of Resurrection, a curse echo suddenly appears. 1 week ago. Oh, we can look around. Okay. Hey, did you hear? Someone from our school committed suicide. What? Really? Who? I heard that Michio from Class C, right? No way. Michio? She'd been acting pretty strangely lately, but I still can't believe it. Did you know? I heard Michio's mom remarried last year. They say her new stepdad is a total jerk. Really? How so? Like, he'd peek on her while she changes and couldn't keep his hands off her. I even heard he's an ex-con. If she resists him, he gets violent. That's so scary. No way. I couldn't take that. I'd probably think about killing myself too if I had to deal with someone like that at home. You hear about suicides on the news, but for it to happen here, it's a little scary. By the way, isn't there a girl who transferred into Class C recently? Oh, I heard about her. She's gloomy. Doesn't stand out much. Did you know that the school she was at before she transferred also had a suicide? What? For real? That seems like kind of fishy. Do you care about these two in the back? No? Oh, hello. Did you hear about Michio in Class C? Yeah, she seemed like the stereotypical honor student in her first year, but she stopped showing up to class and her grades started dropping after her third semester. So she offed herself because her grades were bad. No fair. Just thinking about practice tests makes me want to die too. All anyone cares about is scores and grades. Ahem. There might be some of you who already know, but a member of our class, Michio Shiraishi, passed away last night. Okay, calm down. I know this comes as a surprise, but please keep quiet. The cause of death is still under investigation, and there's nothing we know for certain at the moment. Detailed investigation reports will come from the police, so please don't go spreading any wild rumours, okay? We're sending everyone home for today. No dilly-dallying on your way. School will be off tomorrow as well. Hey, you. Stop celebrating. Show some respect. There will be a memorial service scheduled next week at the school assembly, if anyone wishes to pay their respects individually. Several days later. Yako? Sorry to bug you. It's just, you seem a little different from your usual self. I hope I'm not being a nosy... But, thanks, Mio. Was I acting that strangely? Yeah, enough to make me worry. If you want to talk, I'm happy to listen. Yeah, this is perfect timing. There's actually something I want to ask you. Yeah? Let's ask about the Rite of Resurrection. Hey, Mio. You know about the Rite of Resurrection, right? Yeah. It's that thing Mr. Araishi apparently discovered and wrote an article about. I doubt there's many people who don't know. He's always talking about it. Do you believe it's real? Huh? Well, it sounds a little too good to be true to me. But on the off chance that it really works, we could bring Michio back to life with it. I want to find it if there's even the slightest chance of bringing Michio back. But how will you look for it? Right, that's the thing. Michio, I wonder why she had to die. She didn't leave a note or anything, but they announced it was a suicide. That can't be right. She would never kill herself. Michio was so happy. She always looked on the bright side of things. She loved coming to school. I know she was going through some hard times, but for her to kill herself? I never got a chance to speak with her. She was often absent from school, and when she did come in, she looked depressed. You're right. And that's why everyone was so willing to accept that she committed suicide. They acted like they cared, but all they did was gossip about it. They put together little pieces of information and spread rumors like it's the truth. Isn't that terrible? Yes, it is. I've heard some that were really awful. In the end, the only reason they're able to say stuff like that is because they aren't personally involved. It's true that she didn't get along with her new stepdad and that her grades went down. But to say things like, how sad, no wonder she killed herself. How dare they? She always told me she was okay whenever I talked with her because I was worried. She would have told me if there was something bothering her so badly she'd kill herself over it. I won't let Michio's death be written off like this. Like, maybe she got caught up in something bad. Something bad? People have been talking about that body found in the former Yasuda Gardens, right? Some are saying that this town is cursed or something. Yes, there has been a strange feeling around things recently. You know that spirit board thing that everybody's been doing? Where you summon a spirit and ask it whatever you want? Yeah, I know it. I want to try it out. There's something I want to know. Why are you telling me this? I mean, you seem like the type to know about this stuff. Oh, I do? Yeah, you look like you're really into the occult stuff. You know, you've got that kind of gloomy look. Huh. I don't know how I should feel about that. But you do know how to do it, right? Well, yes. I think I probably know a little more than most. Okay, please help me. You're my only hope. The thing you want to ask, is it? Yeah, I want to know about the truth behind Michio's death. And where the rite of resurrection is hidden. I see. I don't know if getting the answer to those questions will be as easy as you hope. Please, the teachers and police aren't any help, and there's only so much I can do alone. If there's even the slightest chance, then... Well... Okay, if that would make you feel better, then I'll help. Yes! Thank you, Mio! Okay, then tomorrow after dark. Ooh, we've got some more files. Notes on Michio Shiraishi. Okay. Case notes regarding the suicide of Michio Shiraishi, Komagata High School, Class 2C. Cause of death. Body discovered 1 week ago. Died from full-body blunt force trauma in an alley off South Warigessery Street. Believed to have fallen from the roof of a nearby apartment complex. Potential motives: the deceased parents had recently remarried, and rumours among the students suggested physical abuse by her stepfather may constitute motive for suicide. Okay, that's not a whole lot of information there, but there's some. And we're back with Yako Sakazaki at 12 AM in Komagata High School, Class 2C. Huh? Ah, are you awake, Yako? Yeah, what happened? You can't remember? Let's see. We used the spirit board and I suddenly heard something, like this weird voice. And then I passed out? Yes, as far as I can tell, you aren't experiencing any negative effects. I think it was just a mild shock from how sudden it all was. Huh? Ah, was everything okay with the spirit? Yep, it was almost bad, but I got it to leave. More importantly, what is that thing you have in your hand? In my hand? Whoa! What the heck is this? It looks so freaky. When did I get this? Curstone acquired the Fool's Procession. Oh, there's so much anger and hatred held within it. It looks a little like tools that were used for ancient curses. What? That's so scary. Yako, you just said you heard a strange voice, right? Sorry, there's something I just want to very quickly check in the replay. Okay. I don't know what that was, but it's fine. Could you tell me what you heard? Anything you can recall? I think it might be connected to that object. Let's see. It felt like I was at the bottom of a dark place. Then this voice felt like it was echoing in my mind. After that, it just kept shouting, "Kill them!" I see. Thank you. Yako, I think you may have exactly what you need in order to use the rite of resurrection. A curse with the power to take people's lives and turn them into soul dregs. What? You mean this is a real curse? I know I said I wanted to use the rite of resurrection to bring Michio back, but... But why? Why me? It makes no sense. Yako, please calm down and listen. Yeah, okay. We'll be calm. We'll be calm. Yeah. I'm sorry about panicking. No, it's okay. Fear is something we feel in the face of the unknown. Long ago, people would give names to phenomena they couldn't understand in order to live with them. However, modern-day developments in science and culture have pushed for the rejection of things that can't be measured. And so the paranormal has been treated like it doesn't exist. But they've been around since a long, long time ago. If you just understand, you can see that there's nothing to be afraid of. First, calming down is the most important. Accept reality for what it is. Huh? I only really gave this stuff a shot because it was popular, but... You really do have a connection with this stuff, don't you? Well, I suppose to an extent. Hey, Mio, what do I do? Where do I start? Am I cursed? Am I going to die? It's okay, I'll take care of the curse. That's why I'm here in the first place. What? Trust me. I'll take care of things. It'll be alright. Thanks. I was the one who dragged you along to do the spirit board. It's fine. You're desperate to find a way to try and help your friend. But spirit boards are dangerous. You have to take them seriously. So I'm glad you invited me. Alright, let's review everything we've learned so far and think of how to move forward. Okay. Let's talk about the Seven Mysteries. The mysterious voice said the curse stone is called the Fool's Procession, right? Yeah, that's from the Seven Mysteries of Honjo, right? Our school is said to be connected with a story with the same name, one of the mysteries. Right, I don't think it's a coincidence. This is just a guess, but is it possible you were chosen because you could feel your desire for the rite of resurrection? If this is a curse of the Seven Mysteries of Honjo, then it's possible that there are others who received curses associated with the other mysteries. Yeah, that voice also said that there are other curse bearers, or whatever you called them. Not only that, apparently you can get a lot of soul dregs by killing a curse bearer. Right, that's certainly not good. Even if we have no intention of killing others with the curse, there's a chance you may be targeted if the other curse bearers find us. Yeah. We'll have to avoid anyone who has who has another of the curses. That means we should avoid people at night as much as possible. Alright, let's talk about the curse. What is this curse? Am I cursed? Well, I've only looked into it a little, but I wouldn't quite say you're cursed. It's more like you've gained the ability to use the power of a curse. So there shouldn't be any kind of negative paranormal effect on you. The power to use a curse? Do you mean this curse stone? Yes, if the curse stone is used under certain conditions. A curse will be placed on someone, taking their life and turning it into soul dregs. Soul dregs are said to be required to enact the rite of resurrection. Normally, a curse is a spell that would only be usable by an onmyoji of considerable talent. I believe that curse stone makes it so that even normal people can use them. So someone like me with no knowledge could curse someone? Yes, but it's still nothing to take lightly. You could end up having it redirected right at you. To tell you the truth, something unusual did happen while we were using the spirit board. It happened right around midnight, I think. This whole area seems to be under the effect of the Feast of Shadows. The Feast of Shadows? Yes, it's a type of spell that temporarily boosts the potency of the supernatural. It also has the effect of making the powers of certain curse echoes manifest more easily. Judging by its strength, I'd say it probably covers about 3 to 4 kilometer radius. 3 to 4 kilometers? That's big enough to cover all of Sumida City! Yes, I think the Feast of Shadows was used to cause the resentment lingering in the area to manifest as curse stones. Someone did this. But who? I don't know enough to say. But it's likely that it was done by someone who wants to uncover the rite of resurrection. This isn't something to happen naturally. I see. Okay, let's have a look. We've got the Feast of Shadows, a technique that allows one to create a field that temporarily boosts spiritual energy. In addition to amplifying the spiritual power of a particular area, it can also be used to amplify the strength of grudges and desires tied to the area. The effectiveness of the Feast of Shadows is dependent on the abilities of the user, but it's possible to limit the scope and range of the spell to such a degree that one could use it to amplify the power of even those not naturally gifted with spirit sense. Okay, well, we can talk more about the rite of resurrection. But Mio, yes? If this curse is real, that means I could bring back Michio if I used it, right? The rite of resurrection would be real too. Yes, that's true. But you can't do that, Yako. But It feels like it's not the time to worry about that kind of stuff. If Michio died in an accident, then I'm sure she didn't want to die. What's the issue with putting a little curse on a complete stranger? I sort of feel like it wouldn't be a big deal. What's going on with you? You're not acting like yourself, Yako. You would never even consider taking the life of another person. Is it the curse's influence on you? Maybe the curse echo's grudge is rubbing off on you. Will you show it to me for a second? Is there something inside it? No, stop! Yako? Oh, I'm sorry. But it's like I just suddenly really didn't want you to touch it. I understand. I'm sorry. But you need to give up on the right of resurrection. What? Because that's the real curse. Using resurrection as a lure, it tempts curse bearers into using their curses. You have to resist it. Don't let yourself be deceived by some curse. But Michio could... I think for tonight we should get you home to rest. I'll walk you. The curse's influence should subside in the morning. Okay. A curse stone's powers can only be used in this area under the influence of the Feast of Shadows. The effects also only appear after the sun has set. By setting a limit on when they can be used, the curses are strengthened. So the curses can't be used outside this area or during the day? Correct. But speaking of limits, to actually use a curse to kill someone, it seems there are conditions that need to be met. Conditions? You mean like how my curse echo needs someone to listen to the sound it makes for 30 seconds? To be honest, I don't really understand it. Like, how do I even summon the curse echo? Or make the sound? Do I just, like, will it? Do you mind if I try? Stop, stop, stop! You shouldn't be using curses so willy-nilly! Even if there are conditions that have to be met, the power to kill someone without leaving behind evidence is dangerous enough. In that sense, maybe you really have been cursed. I'm sorry that you got wrapped up in this situation, even though I'm here with you. That curse stone. I think whoever holds it becomes a curse bearer. It would probably be best for me to hold on to it, but then I'd feel bad about forcing it on you. No, I sense a powerful force rejecting me. I don't think I'd be able to take it. Really? Why? If we tried separating it from you, the curse may trigger. That's how bad I sense it wants to stay with you. No way. No way! That curse stone might look like nothing more than an old Netscape carving. But I can sense a powerful, resentful energy from it. I don't think it's a good idea for me to even touch it. I may seem like I know what I'm doing, but I don't know how to handle something this powerful. Really? This little thing? If you threw it away and someone with bad ideas picked it up, it could be bad. I think it would be safer to avoid the risk of getting anyone else involved, and have you hold on to it for now. Well, now I'm kind of freaked out. Anyways, we need to make it to daybreak. I think the curse should weaken once it's morning. I'll help you find a way to deal with it then. Okay. So there are two things you should remember. First, do not fulfill the conditions while it's night. Second, should you happen to fulfill the conditions, don't use the curse. Right. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you that you need to give up on the right. It's beyond us. Even a single curse stone alone is too much to handle. Bringing back the dead isn't something so simple. I know how much it hurts, but please focus on just worrying about surviving tonight. Even now we're in great danger. Okay, let's get going then, shall we? We'll take the same route we took to get here. Right. We'll be fine, right? There's nobody else at this school, is there? I think so. The night shift janitor shouldn't be patrolling this late at night either. Ah! Huh? What? Why'd the lights go out? Mio, are you okay? What is that? Oh, I missed what that said. She's not here. What's happening? Where are you? We are so very cursed. Ah! Ah! Huh? Oh no, oh no, oh no, what was that? Get me out of here! Mio! Mio! Mio, where are you? Yakko, I'm here! Over here, can you see me? Where? I can't see anything. Shadow, will you shut up? Scary enough without you barking around. Go to bed. Go to bed. Jeez. Oh, right, we're supposed to be looking around. Not that way, Yakko. Behind you. I'm behind you. Turn around this way. It's pitch black. I have no idea which way I'm facing. Wait. Oh, hello. There you are, Mio. This way. Over here. Be careful. Your field of vision is being limited. Right. Spooky. Alright, let's continue on. Escape from Komagata High. Yakko Sakazaki. Summary of previous events. After Yakko acquires the curse of the Fool's Procession, Mio tries to persuade her to give up on going after the Rite of Resurrection. The effects of other curse echoes are already appearing at school. So the two hurry and get out the classroom. Yakko Sakazaki, 1 AM. Inside Komagata High School. Hey Mio, what was that just now? Could it be another curse echo, different from mine? I think so, yes. We may have been discovered by another curse bearer. Oh. What's wrong? Shh. Someone's there, in that classroom. What? Something moved inside. Well... Oh yeah, let's check it out stealthily. It might be the curse bearer who used that curse echo just now. If we can see who it is, it might help us decide what to do later. That's true. Okay, be careful. With the loudest footsteps known to man. Well, can you see anything? Try and get a look around. Oh, yeah, there's someone there. Oh, 2 people. Ah! Huh? Is that our homeroom teacher, Mr. Jonouchi? And the person with him is Hitomi from Class A? What? Oh my! What's going on here? Ah! That bastard! He's at it again! I have to kill him. No, we're gonna resist. We're gonna resist. I won't let him get away with this. What? The curse. I could kill him with it. No, Yakko, you can't use the curse stone. We're resisting. We're gonna resist. What's gotten into you? Resist it. Who's there? Is someone there? This is bad. We have to go before they see us. Kohei Jonouchi. Sex male, occupation, high school teacher, curse echo, maybe. Kohei is an English teacher and homeroom teacher for Class 2C at Komagata High School. He was seen alone with Hitomi Okuda in the classroom late at night by Yakko and Mio. Kohei was an honor student and top of his class back in his high school days. The apple of his parents' eyes, he was placed under immense pressure to attend a first-rate university. The family's plans came to naught, however, when the pressure caused Kohei to sink into a deep depression and fail his entrance exam. Even at the university he was able to enter, Kohei struggled to keep up with his classes, leaving him a vain but wounded young man. Okay. Kohei never aspired to be a teacher, but figured it was the least he could do with his talents. He considers his students to be beneath him, and largely looks down on them all. We've also got Hitomi here. Hitomi Okuda, female, high school student, maybe a curse echo? Hitomi is a rebellious student in Class 2A at Komagata High School. On the rare occasion when she does show up to school, she skips all her classes and spends her time hanging out on the rooftop with her fellow troublemakers. Hitomi is regarded by the teachers as one of the worst offenders among the delinquent students at Komagata High School. Hitomi was a fairly ordinary student when she started high school. However, trouble at home in her first year had her take a turn for the worse. She began associating with a group of delinquents from other schools with whom she'd wander around town at night to avoid returning home. Warnings from teachers about dress code and conduct violations have fallen on deaf ears, with Hitomi going on reactionary rampages around school with her friends, breaking windows and disrupting classes. Recently, some teachers have taken to using harsher measures and even corporal punishment to correct Hitomi's behavior. But this has only served to exacerbate the animosity between Hitomi and the school. Hitomi is widely regarded as the leader of the troublemakers at Komagata High School, but the title does not mean much to her. Absolutely fuck off. Stupid text messages. It seems like they're not coming after us. Let's hope they didn't see our faces. But, Yako, what came over you all of a sudden? Sorry. Thanks for stopping me. It's like this uncontrollable rage suddenly welled up inside me. I wonder what's gotten into me. I can barely even remember what happened. I'm really sorry. I do think it's partly the curse's influence on you, but we certainly saw something shocking. My heart's still pounding. I'm a little surprised you know Hitomi from Class A. She tends to stand out a lot. Gotcha. Well, she certainly does dress like a delinquent, though she barely shows up to school. But could Mr. Jonoichi or Hitomi really be a curse bearer? Uh-oh. I think so. I don't know, but we should be careful just in case. Yako? When I give the signal, run. Go straight for the entrance, don't look back, no matter what. Huh? Why? Did something happen? Something happened, didn't it? What about you, Mio? I'll be fine. We'll meet up outside the school gates. If I'm not there in 10 minutes, go straight home, okay? Okay, go! Right! Don't look back. Don't look back. I have to get outside. Let's see. To get to the gates, I go by the gym and... What are you doing, miss? Oh god. You shouldn't be here this late. Don't you know what time it is? Oh, it's Mr. Ashimiya. Well, if it isn't little Yako. Anyways, students ain't supposed to be outside playing around at night. School janitor Makoto Ashimiya. Makoto Ashimiya, sex male, high school janitor, maybe has a curse echo. Makoto is the janitor at Komagata High School. His predecessor was nearing retirement, so he began working as his replacement about 6 months ago. Makoto is popular among the students for his friendly and caring nature, going so far as to remember the names and faces of all those attending the school. He is affectionately known as Old Man Ashimiya. Although he appears to be a simple, amiable man, Makoto's occasional shrewd remarks have led to speculation among students that he may have led a far more interesting life than it seems. Whatever the truth may be, he will be remembered as one of the 7 mysteries of Komagata High School for some time to come. I know you're rough around the edges, but I didn't take you for one to act out like this. Sorry, I forgot something back in the classroom. No sass today, huh? Realized you were in the wrong, did you? Yes. Forgot something in your classroom, huh? You're a piece of work. But you don't have nothing with you. Oh. Wait, You do? What's that in your hand? Huh? Well, this is what I forgot. I got it from my grandpa. It's really important to me. Girls these days sure have weird tastes. Well, okay. Better head straight home if you're done. I won't tell on you. No. Wait, I can't let you walk home like this. Walk home alone this late? Alright, wait just a little. I'll hurry and lock things up. But... You blepis. Why can't I eat blepis? Okay, I'm worried about Mio. Actually, a friend of mine is still inside. I think they'll be here soon. That's so. Who's your friend? My classmate, Mio Kurosuzu. Ah, that transfer student? Breaking school rules already, huh? Didn't take her for the type. No, I was the one who dragged her here. Well, whatever. I'll go take a look. It'll be safer if you go home together. Oh, right. She's in the first floor hallways. Be careful, though. You don't know what may be there. What's that supposed to mean? First floor, yeah? I'll be right back. Why are we sending him off to his death? Why are you doing this? Yako Sakazaki, 2 a.m. Komagata High School, entrance. She's late. I've been waiting for 20 or 30 minutes, but there's no sign of her. I'm starting to get worried. I'm going to take a look. Mio, are you there? Huh? Uh-oh. She lost a leg? Oh, and she's got an arm off. Eek! What? Mio, what happened? Where did I go wrong this time? It's my fault. It's all my fault. I left her alone with a curse bearer. Mio! I'm sorry, The truth is, So was that the half-breed curse? Because she was missing an arm and a leg, and Yako Sakazaki died. Okay, well... Such is life. My Joe, you seem to have arrived at a less than favourable result. But this was bound to happen. There is someone who must not be trusted. Once you have an idea of who it is, be sure to come back. I'm sure you'll see what you need to do differently. It's a difficult judgment for Yako Sakazaki to make, you see. This chapter will remain incomplete for now. I recommend you try another route. And now then, until next time. Interesting. So I'm guessing something I do in one of these two routes is going to affect this. Yeah, have a look at... Interesting. Okay. I mean, there is one very obvious thing that we could do differently, which is we could kill that guy. Let's give it a go and see what happens. I know he said that we recommended... Oh, okay. No, that's not what I wanted to do. My bad, my bad. No, I do want the story chart. Yeah, we start from the beginning. So do we have to resume from the very beginning? Okay, we're going to hold this down, speed through this as much as we can. Check it out stealthily. Let's see what happens when we kill this guy. I know he said to check out another route. Alright, yeah, over here. Curse. Hey! Die. Die, Mr. Jonouchi. What? What's the sound? No, Yako, stop. You'll kill Hitomi, too. I have to do something. Ah! Hey, over there! Who's there? Ah, I was seen? It didn't work. Run! Hurry! Okay, well, fair enough. That kind of leads us back to the same situation, I guess. Seems like they're not coming after us. Hope they didn't see our faces. And then this is just going to take us straight through to this bit again. I'm not acting out. What about you? Should you be smoking on school grounds? Ah, well, it ain't lit, so it's alright. It's, you know, an accessory. Hey, don't go changing the subject. There's just no letting my guard down with you. So, why are you here so late? Well, truth is I forgot something in my classroom. Yeah, okay. And we can't soda sav. Right. That's fine then. We'll go back and we've got the crime scene investigation, or we've got Nut Dreams. I mean, the crime scene investigation happens first, but I'm also a lot more interested in what these two have to do with each other. So I'm going to go with Haruo Shigima. Nut Dreams, Haruo Shigime. When the son of Haruo Shigima was kidnapped, a botched investigation by the police resulted in the child's murder. 1 year later, Haruo has hired a private investigator to help resolve the unsettled case. Late at night, while speaking to the detective at her home, something strange suddenly appears. Ooh, let's see what's going on. May those who mock fires something perish in its flame. Kill them. Kill them! The flame bearers! Kill them all! You have acquired the power of the cursed stone, the Haunting Clappers. You can use it to kill those with fire or a fire-starting device on their person. Press the use curse button to set your target alight. What a way to start a chapter. Let's just, we'll go straight to that, hey. Okay, we've got the Haunting Clappers. And, cursed power? Kills by burning one who is in possession of fire or a fire-starting device. Resentful memory. Red. 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 Everything is dyed crimson. My home is burning to the ground. It's hot. So hot. I must call for help, but I cannot speak. My throat must be burned up from the smoke. No, I think I'm already on fire. That's right. I'll just use the clappers. Clack, clack. Is anybody there? Clack, clack. Why is no one coming? I'm going to burn to death. How did it come to this? Oh, right. Her. It must be the work of that vixen who appeared suddenly and enchanted my lord. That witch. Those hauntingly cold eyes had my lord dancing in the palm of her hand. Perhaps I was also taken in by her. How many innocent people did I lure in under orders? This must be karma. The sound of a heavy bell. It feels like my head will split open. Ah, right. The evening bell. That must be why nobody can hear the sound of my clappers. I've got to do it louder. Clack, clack. A murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick black tar. Now. Kill. Can you hear it, Curse Bearer? You who so strongly desires the right? Kill them. Haruo Shigima, 12 AM. Shigima Mansion Reception Room. Ooh, mansion. Someone's doing well. Back with me, ma'am. Can't say I understand what just happened, but it certainly seems to have put you in a good mood. This might be the first time I've ever seen you really smile. Is that a smile? That does not look like a smile to me. Sweet dreams? Housewife, Haruo Shigima. Haruo Shigima, sex female, occupation housewife, curse echo the haunting clappers. Haruo is a housewife who resides in a manor near Shumoku Bridge. Her 11-year-old son, Shuichi, was kidnapped and murdered about a year ago. The death was the result of a mistake on the part of the detective assigned to her case, a mistake which enraged the kidnapper and had him cut off all contact with the police, leaving no room for negotiation. The incident was covered up, and Shuichi's killer remains at large, leading the aggrieved Haruo to call on the services of private investigator Richter Kai to uncover the truth. The Shigima family come from a line of samurai who built their residence in Honjo during the Edo period. They assumed important positions in the police force following the Meiji Revolution. thereby protecting their family's elevated status. Even today, many in the Shigema line work as police bureaucrats and senior police officers. Harue's father sits in the upper echelons of the National Police Agency, and her husband, adopted into the Shigema clan through an arranged marriage, is also a highly respected agency official. However, as her family prioritizes work above all else, it wasn't long before Harue's marriage grew cold. Though she wants for nothing, she is isolated from her neighbors and withdrawn from society. Seeing her son grow into a young man gave Harue purpose in life, but it was cut short by the kidnapping incident. Following the incident, Harue spent many days in a deep depression, breaking into sudden fits of shouting and wandering around in the middle of the night. Her cheerful, loving disposition faded away, and she took to making snide remarks at her husband, which only further soured their relationship. A few months ago, Harue's husband was transferred to another area for work, and now rarely returns home, with Harue left to live in the large, empty mansion alone. A housekeeper who has been with the family for a long time comes in to take care of all the housework. Harue has nothing but time on her hands. Alright then. No. Not dreams. Sounds like something I might want to hear about. Alright, what have we got going on here? I'll have a look. What's that? Well, I'll be damned. Is that what I think it is? Goodness, you made me jump. It's just a silly little sticker my son got from somewhere or other. He put it up just before, well, you know what happened. I still can't bring myself to take it down. Let me take a closer look. It's like a chicken or something. I knew it. It's Head Hensho from way back in set number 1. That's a real collector's item. Excuse me? Don't tell me you've never heard of the Mockingbirds. The what? They're the hottest new craze. Cute little birds dressed up like rough and tumble delinquents. I've never heard of them, but this certainly seems to matter to you. The best part is, nobody knows who made them. They just started showing up around town, and soon enough they'd won everybody's hearts. The story goes that they're made by some anonymous artist who covertly leaves them behind in specific locations. No one knows when or where they'll show up next. They're basically an urban legend of sorts. To think one would turn up here of all places. This is a good sign, I'm sure of it. Oh, well, that's nice. Cool, we got a first Mockingbird sticker. Mockingbirds, these popular bird mascot stickers seem to pop up everywhere. Nobody knows who the legendary artist is behind these quirky birds, but they quickly became popular for their surreal yet oddly cute designs. Be in the right place at the right time in Honjo, and you might just be able to find all 20 of them scattered around. Legend has it that collecting them will bring good luck. Ooh, okay. There's 20. We've got Head Hensho. That's a pretty cool bird. Approach the net. Bottom shelf. Surrounded by darkness. Jackpot. Late night on the way home. Look up at the first house. I'm guessing these are hints on where to find them. Among the morning green. Before hearing the history. In the bright garden. If you won the lottery. If you wait until you feel like yourself again. Detectives and private eyes. A ringing telephone booth, the excited detective, waving at the entrance, in a park where sparrows sing, waiting at the intersection, on a bridge pillar at night, a unique-looking playground, and revisiting the park at night. Okay, cool. Neat! Birds. Right, let's have a look at the stereo. A stereo unit with separated speakers designed for home use. My husband insisted on buying one, even though he isn't one to listen to music often. An arrangement of flowers. We bring in someone to do it. I don't even know what the flowers are called. An old hanging scroll. I don't know who painted it. It's been hanging here since before I was born. The telephone. This mansion has a private line. Ooh, fancy. A private line. A fax machine. It can send images to other places along the telephone network. I don't really know how it works. Most houses don't have one. I rarely find a use for it. The swinging of the pendulum echoes through the room. It feels livelier than usual with Richter here. Usually it's just me. A colour television. Father bought one as soon as it hit the market. He likes to have the latest gadgets. Unlike the latest models, there is no remote control. We've had it for a long time. Back when it was new, we all gathered around it and marvelled at it as a family. But with father and my husband being away so often, it quickly fell into disuse. Okay, well, I think that's just about everything. Let's have a look at Richter. A private investigator I hired. A friend told me about him. They say he's not very well known, but he's good at what he does. When I first visited his office in Ota City and saw how he dressed, I could hardly believe he was a detective. But after talking to him for a while, I changed my mind. He says some strange things at times, but he seems like the reliable sort. Okay, Richter Kai, sex male, occupation, private investigator, curse echo, none. Okay. I don't think we knew that he didn't have one. We assumed he didn't, but apparently he doesn't. The eccentric man that brought Shogo Okie... the eccentric man that Shogo Okie ran into at Hoonji Bridge. Richter is actually a private investigator with an office in Ota City, Tokyo. After taking on the request from Harue Shigima to investigate the unsolved kidnapping and murder of her son, he gets caught up in the events surrounding the rite of resurrection. Once a police officer, Richter was racked with guilt over the police's inability to help all those in need, and quit the force to start his own private investigation firm. However, his soft-hearted nature leads him to take on too many cases, and has put his office in dire financial straits. How he is still in business is a mystery, with some whispering that a wealthy patron is keeping him afloat. Richter studied alongside Detective Jun Erio. Oh, okay, at the police academy. Somewhat surprisingly, given his outlandish clothing and mannerisms, Richter excels at covert investigations and tailing his targets. He proudly refers to himself as an investigator extraordinaire, though that only ever succeeds at impressing himself. Richter's biggest source of happiness is nuzzling his pet female albino parakeet, Ernestine, which he keeps in his office. He also enjoys collecting mockingbird stickers, a popular line of merchandise featuring birds inexplicably dressed like delinquents, and can be frequently sighted searching around town for them. While out and about, Richter typically leaves the office, and more important, Ernestine, in the care of Amamori, a junior high schooler who volunteered to assist Richter after being involved in a previous case. Oh, we've got some more files here. We've got the Azure Heron Agency. Richter Kai's private investigation firm in Kamata, Ota City. Originally, Kai thought to give it a simple name, like Kai's detective agency, but upon hearing that people are more likely to pick names listed at the front of the phone book alphabetically, he decided to pick a name starting with A. Thus, the Azure Heron Agency was established. However, it was questionable whether the heron, a bird of somewhat ominous significance, is an effective symbol for attracting customers. Even his own assistant has referred to the name as confusing at best. After all, rather than an Azure Heron, Richter keeps a white parrot as a pet and dresses not in blue, but mostly in white. If there was a symbolic connection to be made here, it is surely lost on all but Richter himself. A private investigator, also known as a private eye, is a detective who operates their own agency. Though there are no formal qualifications necessary to become a private investigator, many are retired police agents or detectives due to the similarities between the work involved. At a glance, private investigation firms and inquiry officers might look similar, but they carry out different types of investigations. Inquiry officers specialize in conducting credit checks on businesses, while private investigators are generally involved in tailing persons of interest and gaining information surreptitiously. Alright, let's have ourselves a little think. My heart is still racing. This is it. My chance, at long last. Okay, let's have a quick chat with Richter here. Let me bring you up to speed. We were in the middle of a chat when you suddenly started spacing out, and the whole time you were grinning to yourself like you just won the lottery. Care to tell me what that was all about? Well, where to start? At the beginning, usually. Interesting. Very interesting. So the haunting clapper's curse echo appeared out of nowhere. told you how to perform the rite of resurrection, and gave you the curse you'll need to do it. Have I got that right? That's right. So, it's all real. Honestly, I still find it hard to believe. But I guess I have to now. I saw that curse stone appear in your hand myself. It looked like it popped clean out of thin air. With evidence that clear, there's no denying that there's some supernatural force at work. I don't think you quite understand. Oh? This isn't about evidence, and it isn't about belief. It's more than that. I know it's real. The moment the curse appeared, I knew everything before it even said a word. It was already there in my head, as clear as day. You just knew, huh? It was etched onto my soul, along with all the curse echoes of resentful memories. So I can feel it, what it was like. Dying like they did hundreds of years ago, wreathed in flame, writhing in pain as my flesh blackens and my blood boils. I can feel it. The agony, all the rage. It fills me with bloodlust. I think I need to kill someone. Anyone will do, just as long as they're carrying fire. I see. That could be a problem. You think so? From what I know of you, I was sure you'd see it as an opportunity. The stronger the desire to resurrect someone, the stronger the urge to kill. That's how it seems to me, anyway. Good grief, talk about a spanner in the works. I say we take stock for a moment, remind ourselves where we've come from and where we're going. That might be a good idea. Alright, I am going to take a very quick break. I will be back in about 5-ish minutes. Please do stick around. I will be right back. Hello, we are back. Let me give you some game audio here, and we can continue on. We were talking to Richter about the investigation. That's what you hired me for, ma'am, to look into your son's kidnapping last year. To uncover the truth behind the abduction and murder of Shuichi Shigima. Oh, yes, I remember. They never did find the one who did it. That's what I'm here about today, in fact. Kind of you to let me drop by so late, by the way. I've been turning over every last stone, and I've come up with a grand total of 1 lead. So you said. As far as the police are concerned, this is a cold case, but I've managed to make some headway. I remember. You were just about to tell me. Let's have a look. The Shigima Kidnapping Overview. A kidnapping and murder case that took place in Honjo, Sumida, around 1 year ago. Harue Shigima's son, Shuichi, age 11, was kidnapped on his way home from school, with a ransom being demanded that same evening. Initially, the kidnapping was thought of as a simple extortion scheme, but when it came to light that the Shigima family was closely tied to the police, and Shuichi was in fact the grandson of a senior official, it was quickly assumed that the perpetrator was acting upon a grudge against the police force. The kidnapping was treated as a direct attack against the good name of the police, and a large-scale investigation was launched that used the best equipment available to trace phone calls. This made it all the more embarrassing when they were unable to catch the culprit, losing the public's confidence. The culprit grew cocky, relentlessly mocking the police force. After 3 days of failure after failure, Harue reached a breaking point. Spurred by concern for her son, she resolved to hand over the ransom money as fast as possible, but her husband and father, who held the prestige of the police in high regard, refused, saying that they would not let the criminal win by giving in to their demands. The increasingly frantic detective assigned to the case lost his temper when the criminal called to give him an ultimatum, causing the culprit never to make contact again. Another week passed and Shuichi's body was found floating in the Sumida River. Shuichi's death could have been largely ascribed to the police's incompetence, but this was largely covered up with stringent media embargoes. The investigation was never closed, but the case has long gone cold. We've got Shuichi Shigima. Sex male, elementary school student, no curse echo, again on account of him being dead. The only son of Harue Shigima, he was kidnapped and murdered 1 year ago. His body was discovered floating in the Sumida River. Shuichi was a conscientious, brave young boy who was determined to protect his mother, Harue, amid his father's frequent absences. He dreamed of becoming a police officer and displayed diligence and an impressive sense of responsibility from a young age, likely due to being raised in an extremely strict environment. Born in the early 70s, he spent his days immersed in various activities and studies, including playing piano, learning the abacus, taking English lessons, and training in kendo. Shuichi's tendency to put other people's needs over his own meant that he died without ever telling his classmates how much he longed for them all to go out on a hunt for Mockingbird stickers. Okay, still nothing interesting going on there. I guess we're just going to keep talking to this guy. Right, let's talk about the investigation. You know, we still need to figure out exactly what you want me to do. Tell you what, why don't I tell you what I've found and then we can make a decision? Alright. You know, we still need to figure out exactly what you want me to do. Okay, alright, okay. Well, I guess we're not doing any more of that then. Let's talk about the kidnapping. I suppose there's not much point in going over the kidnapping itself. No, I'm very familiar. Then I'll leave that for the files to cover and just confirm a few things about the case. The police traced the culprit's calls back to, let's see here, Northern Oyoko River, here in Sumida City. That's quite a wide area. That's right. In the end, they never managed to nail down exactly where the calls were coming from. But it was almost certainly the same location that Shuichi was being held captive, since Shuichi's voice could be heard during the killer's calls. Northern Oyoko River is quite a distance from Shuichi's normal school commute. Factoring in that he was seen at school but went missing before he arrived at his house, it's likely that he was abducted by car on his route home. Maybe, but... Exactly. Shuichi was a clever boy. He would never have gotten into a car with a stranger. That's right. I was very firm about that. I know he understood too. I even saw him warning the other children. It's possible that they forced him into the car. The only issue there is there weren't any witnesses to the kidnapping. You can't bundle someone into a car with that many students around and not be noticed. But nobody came forward to say they saw anything suspicious. So, did they target him at some other time, or somewhere away from his usual route? Both of those seem a little far-fetched. Which raises the question, how did the kidnapper pull it off? The police never managed to find an answer. In the end, they decided the kidnapper must have just gotten lucky. Well, why not turn the problem on its head? The kidnapper managed to convince Shuichi to get into their car, but how? The only thing that makes sense to me is if they were somebody that he would have had a reason to trust. A teacher perhaps, or a relative, or someone else that he knew. But all of the adults Shuichi knew had alibis. The police checked through them thoroughly. They did, huh? No one throws numbers at a problem like the cops. But what if it wasn't someone he knew? Or rather, what if the culprit disguised themselves as a police officer? Huh? That would explain why he didn't find them suspicious. The Shigima family has close ties with the police after all. He would have had a reason to trust them. You might be right. But surely that couldn't have... Well, there's a problem with the theory. You'd be surprised how much police officers stand out. That's sort of the point after all. They're meant to be visible deterrent against crime. But here's another interesting little bit of trivia I happen to know. When you ask people to imagine someone suspicious, nobody pictures women or children. Even kids who've been warned about stranger danger often subconsciously expect that danger to look like an adult man. Besides, Shuichi was the sort of boy who wanted to be a police officer when he grew up. He must have had a very strong sense of right and wrong. That's right. Wait, surely you can't mean... Now you're getting it. If, say, a young woman approached Shuichi asking for help, what would he have done? If someone like that said they were lost and asked him for directions, would he have gotten into a car? He might have. My husband always told him that a man had a duty to watch out for women and children. You could certainly argue that kind of attitude is outdated nowadays, but if Shuichi believed it, then we might have something here. Then you think the culprit was a young woman? But it was a man's voice on the phone. She might have been an accomplice, or maybe she didn't even realize she was being used. If anything, that would explain why she hasn't come forward. She herself might not realize she had anything to do with the case. So the question is, did anybody see Shuichi speaking with a young woman on the day of his disappearance? See, what I said about people's biases, that goes for witnesses too. And I figured that maybe, if I started asking new questions, I might get some new answers. So I spent my day asking around Shuichi's school route, seeing if anyone had seen something. And one man thought he had. Do you mean he saw it happen? Well, I can't say that for sure yet. Turned out he wanted something from me, so he asked if we could talk in private. Ooh, this is getting juicy. Several hours earlier. Alright, this should do. There's no one around, we can speak in confidence. Excuse me, what was your name again? Jonouchi. Got it. Well, Jonouchi, I'm all ears. Just so we're on the same page. You're a private detective investigating Shuichi Shigima's kidnapping. Do I have that right? Of course. What else do I look like? How should I know what a private detective looked like? Oh, forget it. Look, I'll tell you straight. My life is in danger and I need your help. You'll excuse me if that caught me a little off guard. Let me ask you straight. Who is trying to kill you? A student called Michio Shiraishi. Interesting. A schoolgirl, eh? Sounds like you've been naughty. It's nothing like that. That girl, she's a murderer. I'm the only one who knows, but I saw what she did. Michio Shiraishi. I saw her kidnap Shuichi Shigima. Come again? I saw her talk to him on the street and lead him away. I didn't think much of it at the time, but then he went missing. She murdered him, I'm sure of it. Or at least she's got something to do with it. That's what you're here for, isn't it? Then you can't let her get to me. If that's true, you've been sitting on some valuable information. Why didn't you tell anybody? Well, you see, if you can't explain that, I don't have any reason to believe you. I couldn't. She told me she'd kill me if I spoke a word. You're telling me a schoolgirl had you scared for your life? So you've been sitting on that for all this time, and you think she's coming for you now that you've spilled the beans? Yes, that's it. Exactly. I'm begging you, don't let her get me. Arrest her. I'm telling you, she's a demon. Well, you seem to believe what you're saying, but it just doesn't add up. How could a schoolgirl have a fully grown man so terrified? You don't know what she can do. She'll curse me. Curse you? I'm sorry, but you're losing me here. It's true. Her house, it's... forget it. Why do I even bother? You seem dubious enough to believe me, but I should have known you'd never understand. Enough. I'll find someone else to help me. Hey! Oh, this is getting juicy. My hands are freezing, by the way. And that's about the long and short of it. I can hardly believe it. At the time, I thought his mention of curses was just crazy talk. But I'm starting to see there might have been more to it. Then, if we can just find that girl. Curse or no curse, if she was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, then there's a good chance she knows something. On top of that, I did some digging on the man I spoke to. His full name's Kohei Jonouchi. He's a teacher at Komata High School here in Sumida. A teacher? Then this schoolgirl is one of his students? I think that's very likely. At last, we've got a lead. Hopefully it'll be the breakthrough we're looking for. And we still need to figure out what you want me to do. Don't know what we found. Can make a decision. Alright, fair enough. Let's go on to the right of resurrection. The right of resurrection, huh? I read about that in a cult magazine the other day. Apparently some old book showed up recently with all the gory details. And they say the right can be found somewhere here in Honjo. I remember the first time you told me about that. It felt like my prayers had been heard. Like I had hope, real hope for the first time. Ever since that awful day, I've wondered, what if I hadn't sent him to school? What if I'd just paid the ransom? Not a day goes by I don't think about what if I'd done something differently. Shuichi would still be alive. You can't blame yourself, ma'am. It was the culprit's fault, not yours. Though I know that won't help any. Grief is funny like that. I'm guessing that's why you're after the right. I guess I didn't need to ask. It's written all over your face. I can tell how much he meant to you. But, and this is a big but, if this right is the real deal, using it will mean killing someone and stealing their soul. Is that a problem? If it comes to that, I'm afraid I'll have to stop you. Oh, that's a shame. A shame, huh? That's all? I'd thought, if I'm going to be competing with other curse bearers, then your detective skills might come in useful. You realize you're talking about ending someone's life, right? Don't you see an issue with that? I think any parent in my position would happily kill for a chance like this. That's so, is it? Dear, oh dear. What have I gotten myself into? If it makes you uncomfortable, then you won't have to get any blood on your hands yourself. I don't need you to kill the other curse bearers. I only need you to find them. I won't be party to murder, ma'am, not even for a client. How much can I give you to change your mind? Sorry, ma'am, but not everyone has a price. I've got my policies and I stick to them. I see. I didn't realize you were so stubborn. Let me say, though, it's not like I don't get what you're going through. As long as you're not killing anyone with your own hands, maybe I can help you out. What do you have in mind? Well, how about stealing someone else's cursed stone after they've filled it with soul dregs? If that's all you're after, then I could lend you my services guilt-free. If the other curse bearers want to kill each other, that's their business. I'm not trying to be a hero here. I guess there's no guarantee a stolen curse stone will work, but we can worry about that later. Well then, I suppose we have a deal. Although, what if I stole a curse stone using my curse? Would you disapprove? That would void our contract, ma'am. Just warning you now. My. Before we go any further, why didn't you tell me about that curse of yours? The Haunting Clappers, was it? That's one of the Seven Mysteries of Honjo, if I remember correctly. That's right. The original story did happen somewhere near here, I think. I'm sure I remember hearing that. In that case, my money would be on all the curse bearers being somewhere in Honjo. Our first move should be to narrow them down. Some of them are bound to try and come for you first. We'll need to be ready. The curses make their bearers more willing to kill, so an attack could come from anywhere. That sounds sensible. And if I remember correctly, your haunting clappers can set people on fire, but only if they have a naked flame or lighter on their person. Is that right? That's right. In olden times, wooden clappers were used to warn people of fire. I'm guessing it punishes those who don't heed the warning. Seems like a good curse to have. It's simple and straightforward enough to use. Although it's hard to say how it stacks up without knowing what else is on the table. You really think it's that good? The target can't do much to throw it off, and it has a nice long activation window. It's big that it works on lighters too. Just slip one into your target's pocket, and say that condition were already fulfilled before they even knew you were there. They wouldn't even know what hit them. Maybe I won't actually have to use it. I could just tell someone I could, and they'd have to do what I said. Threats could work, although without any proof it'll come down to how convincing you can be. If only you could use the curse, then back out at the last second. At the last second? What an interesting idea. I have a lighter right here. We could try it now. That's an interesting proposition. But maybe not. I'm not quite crazy enough to make myself a guinea pig. Oh, I see. You're an odd one, ma'am, if you don't mind me saying, and I don't think it's just the curse. You flatterer. As for what to do next, first of all, I think you should stay indoors. Try not to do anything spontaneous or outside of your normal routine. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. That one. Thank you. Right then, have you decided on what you want me working on? Ooh, this is a choice. We'll get him to investigate the kidnapping, I think. Finally. Finally I have a lead. I need to know what happened to my son. Your wish is my command, ma'am. I'll focus all my efforts on looking into the kidnapping. Although, something just occurred to me. You can't investigate the matter at night, can you? At least until the sun rises. Could you search for the other curse bearers? Alright, I see how it is. Well, I'd be happy to help. Odds are good that the other curse bearers are also working by night. Anyone they kill under the cover of darkness won't be discovered until sunrise. I bet they'll be trying to do as much as they can before morning comes. So it's settled then. I'll look into the other curse bearers by night. And once the city wakes up, I can start asking questions. I'll investigate the kidnapping as well. I'll even try and find Miss Shiraishi as part of the bargain. Thank you. That's more than enough. Now then. I should get to work. There's only so much time before sunrise. I'll call you if I find out anything new. You stay here and keep a lookout. All right. There's no telling what kinds of curses you might find out on the streets tonight. Don't go outside if you can help it, and try to be ready for anything. I will. Well, if that's all, I should be going. Okay. We still don't know what we can do here, I don't think, yet, so we'll continue this on. A nice thought, Haruo Shigima. A summary of previous events. Despite having obtained the curse of the Haunting Clappers, Haruo Shigima is determined to use the rite of resurrection by stealing the remaining curse stones. She instructs her private investigator, Richter, to find the other curse bearers. Haruo Shigima, 1 AM. Shigima Mansion reception room. I'm going to go for about another half an hour or so, 40 minutes, and then I've got to go and do some stuff. So yeah, let's see how far we can get through this. It's been almost an hour since Richter left. He promised he'd call me if anything happened. But he hasn't. So all I can do is wait. And wait. Old hanging scroll. I've seen it too often to feel anything from it now. The flowers put me at ease, just a little. Should I put a record on? No, it's too late for that. I'm not in the mood for music anyway. Yeah, we already looked at that. There's nothing on at this hour. I see no point in turning it on. I'm waiting for Richter to contact me. Oh, okay. I've got a phone call coming in. I will be back in just a few minutes. Sorry about this, folks. Yeah, catch you in a bit. Yeah. Okay, apologies for that. That was unexpected, but here we are, all the same. Let's get back to it, shall we? Let me make sure I've got the right thing up, which kind of... where's the other right thing? Is that one? Okay, let's continue on. Yeah, so we've got about 20 minutes. Let's see how quickly we can get through this. Let's have a look at the rotary phone. I'm waiting for Richter to contact me, but he hasn't. Okay, fax machine. It's a fax machine. I rarely find a use for it. Don't know anybody else who owns one. Right. We've got a newspaper here. What's this? A newspaper? It must have fallen off the chair. Read it. It's a newspaper. I only leave them here for the guests. I hardly ever read them myself. I don't think I've taken the time to go over one in years, in fact. Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. Ooh, society, economy, culture, education, or television. Let's have a look at the television articles. I don't really watch much television. It feels as if all the information in the world gets passed through that little black box. But father stopped them from reporting on the kidnapping back when it happened. I was glad about that. Less fuss. Okay, cool. Well, we're done with that. Now, let's look at other things. Now the comedy boom is over, all the comedians are flocking to other genres. The occult seems really popular at the moment. Look at all these paranormal specials. Everyone attends high school now, even girls. Universal education policy, they call it. The country's gotten rich enough that every child can go to school. Education is the backbone of modern society. If you want to work for a good company, you have to get into a good university. With more people in the running than ever, the competition to get into those universities has gotten fierce, though. The new generation is rebelling. Schoolyard violence and delinquency are on the rise. But my boy was too sensible to get mixed up in any of that. I don't want to read anymore. It'll only remind me of him. No, you will keep reading. Now that everyone has more spending money to go around, people are coming up with all kinds of new diversions. It seems like only yesterday that people were flocking to the arcades to shoot aliens. But now we have these enormous theme parks and gaming machines that plug straight into our televisions. Everyone's talking about superhero series, foreign films, and movies based on the latest bestseller. Back in my day, fusion, rock, and folk music was all the rage. But now it's all about city pop and idols. I find it hard to care about that kind of sort of thing anymore. I hear the new big thing is some mascot line of delinquent birds. Mockingbirds, I think it's called. Was that what Richter was talking about? Trends seem to have such short shelf lives now, with how quickly the times are changing. I think I'm just too old to keep up anymore. It's young people who are leading the way with their modern worldviews. My generation will only fall further behind. Man, so true. All sorts of articles about the current state of the economy. Now that the post-war boom has passed its peak, we're moving into the era of large corporations. It's about 220, 230 yen to the dollar. Manufacturing is on the rise and exports are healthy. The dollar's down from its height and people are saying it could fall further. There's no denying how much the standard of living has improved over the past few years. It's common to own a car and a television now, and supermarkets are better stocked than ever. What else is going on with the economy? Although with everyone flocking to the city, land prices are skyrocketing. Nowadays, most people can only dream of home ownership. Huh. Could you imagine? The city centre is going to be nothing but apartments before long. Not exactly a businesswoman, so all this feels like another world to me. Looks like the city's biggest problem right now is pollution. I remember how the air and water used to be even more polluted. The river was covered in scum from the sewage and industrial waste, and it stank so badly it made my eyes water. Eventually people started getting sick and it couldn't be ignored anymore. Fortunately, it's gotten better since then, although the air around the industrial district is still filthy with gas and smog. If there's one thing Honjo never wants for, it's horrific crimes. They found a police officer dead in a local park just the other day. A lot of my family are in the police. I hope it wasn't somebody I knew. I don't read the news anymore. Not since last year. It brings back bad memories. Suicide at local high school. Oh, I remember that. A high school girl jumped off a roof about a week ago. She was bullied, I think, or maybe it was something about exam pressure. Huh? What? But... no. This can't be right. Her name. Michio Shiraishi. From Komagata High School? It can't be. Michio Shiraishi, the same girl who witnessed my son's kidnapping, committed suicide last week? But that means... Mr. Jonouchi was terrified of somebody who already died? Is that what he meant by a curse? I can't work this out on my own. Maybe Richter will know. Why won't he call? Oh, I haven't left it off the hook, have I? I'm waiting for Richter to contact me, but he hasn't. I've made sure the receiver is on the hook. It'll ring as soon as he calls. Ah! That must be him. Hello? Shigima residence? Harue Shigima, 2 AM. Komagata Bridge. What a place to be. Richter called me out to meet him, and we came here to Komagata Bridge. Richter, there's something I need to tell you. Funny, I was just thinking the same thing. The Sumida River. The water is filthy and horrid, but at night, when it's still, it looks almost peaceful. Can I ask you something, ma'am? Is the Sumida River what you Honjo folks picture when you think of home? I couldn't say. All I can tell you is that I can hardly stand the sight of it. Right, should have guessed. This is where they found him after he went missing. All alone, floating in that horrible water. All I can think is how scared he must have been. How cold he must have been. What did he ever do to deserve something so awful? I've come here every day since then. And I prayed to the river to give him back. To give me back my son. Day after day after day. You know, in olden times, people believed rivers marked where our world met the next. So the act of crossing flowing water had a huge amount of spiritual significance. Back when Edo was founded, the people of Chuo saw the Sumida River the same way. They associated the far side of the river with the afterlife. That same place would later become Honjo. All their fear and revulsion accumulated there and took root. But then the Ryogoku Bridge sprang up after the Great Fire of Meiraiki. And just like that, Honjo was part of the city too. And as it turned from farmland into a town, the people surrounded it with man-made rivers and crisscrossed it with canals and waterways. Weren't those to prevent flooding? That's what I was told. They were, but that's not all they were for. Their other purpose was to contain all the corruption that had built up on the far shore, and stop it leaking through to our side of the Great Divide. Officially, they were a physical barrier, but unofficially, they were a spiritual one too. So if I have this right, are you saying that Honjo is a place where the real world meets the afterlife? Exactly. That's why the rite of resurrection is here, rather than anywhere else. I'm sure of it. And it's probably why the Seven Mysteries and their curses have survived to the modern day. And I guess that would make this spot we're standing now right over the water, the border between life and death. If there ever was a place to bring back the dead, where bringing back the dead might be possible, I reckon it's here. It's funny that you mentioned praying to the river. That might have done more than you think. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Just thinking aloud, ma'am. Well, it's a nice thought. Sumida River. A Class A river that is part of the Arakawa River system, which runs through much of eastern Tokyo and empties into Tokyo Bay. During the Edo period, Sumida's riverbanks played a key role in the transportation of lumber used in construction. In addition to its logistical importance, it was also a place for the common folk to gather and enjoy activities such as seasonal flower viewing or river bathing, and there exist many wooden block prints depicting such activities. The area became plagued with sewage issues when the surrounding environs were industrialized in the post-war period, but the situation has improved since. Many unique bridges span the Sumida River, including the Ryogoku and Azumabashi bridges, which attract a large number of visitors as sightseeing spots. Massive firework displays in the summer are also always sure to draw a crowd. The river has served as a cornerstone for both the city and its people, having both aided in its development and serving as an inspiring backdrop for countless works of art and literature. Well, there you go, the Sumida River. We're on Komagata Bridge over the Sumida River. There's a highway on one side and a freeway on the other, but they're both deserted this late at night. Here we go, Komagata Bridge. One of the bridges spanning the Sumida River, completed in 1927 as part of the reconstruction effort following the Great Kanto earthquake. It is notable for both its distinctive blue arches and the cutting-edge, for the time, techniques used in its construction. There are many bridges stretching across the Sumida River, each boasting a unique structural form and design. Bridge facts! We can look at the Sumida River some more. Oh, that's right. There's one more memory I have of this river. Do you mind if I tell you? Go ahead. It must have been about 20 years ago now, when I was still a schoolgirl. Back then, the Sumida River was much filthier than it is now. It was full of garbage and industrial discharge. It was scummy and slimy, and it stank. You could look out over the water and see dead cats and dogs and pigeons just floating. And one day, among all the filth and garbage, there was a piece of my missing classmate's hand. What? It was almost a miracle when you stop to think about it. What were the chances that someone would find a part of her that was still recognizable? And that although everything but the palm had rotted away in the water, the part that was left would have an identifiable scar. And that they could tell it had been a murder from the blade marks on the bone. Wait, are you talking about the Najima murders? So you've heard of it. I'm impressed. Silphco rival, welcome, welcome. I assume you were but an elementary schooler at the time. I wasn't really aware of it then. I only heard about it after the fact. I had no idea the victim was a classmate of yours. The Najima murders overview. A notorious case from over 2 decades ago involving the murder of a female high school student. It first came to the attention of the authorities when part of a human left hand was discovered floating in the Sumida River. Testing revealed it belonged to a missing female high school student, as it appeared to have been severed deliberately. What a logo you have, CBT. Not CBT, not CBT, CTB. Much different. Much different. As it appeared to have been severed deliberately, the police launched a murder investigation. A large-scale search of the river was organised, but the highly polluted state of the water made this impossible. Visibility was poor, the stench was intense, and the divers quickly fell ill. They succeeded in recovering only the victim's head and what appeared to be part of her leg before the search was called off. At the time of the incident, the Sumida River was as polluted as it had ever been. Neither fish nor shellfish could survive in it, eventually causing the annual fireworks festival to be called off indefinitely. Over the course of the search, the police discovered a number of unidentified human bones. This caused a stir among the public, as several other young women had gone missing in recent years in the Tokyo area, and it was feared that they may have fallen victim to the same fate. Forensic technologies at the time, however, were not advanced enough to determine the identities of the deceased, so the police were unable to open any inquiries. Due to the overwhelming lack of circumstantial evidence, the investigation ground to a halt until a hitherto unrelated individual came to its attention. During a questioning about a separate incident, Fumichika Najima, a 36-year-old shop owner with no relation to the victim, divulged details about her that had never been released to the general public. An investigation into his background was conducted, leading to his arrest. Najima testified that he had snatched his victim from the street and confined her in the underground storeroom of his shop, which also served as his living quarters. He chose her for no special reason, but simply decided she was an opportune target on seeing her walking alone at night. After keeping her locked up for several days, he restrained her, sewed her mouth shut, and severed her fingers and toes with a box cutter while she was still conscious. As she screamed silently behind her sealed lips, he proceeded to her wrists, her ankles, her elbows, her knees, working his way inwards, slowly and methodically. His victim constantly wavered in and out of consciousness. Her ordeal continued until she died of blood loss. Najima dismembered the rest of the body and disposed of it behind his home in the Sumida River before cleaning his storeroom and returning to his everyday routine as if nothing had happened. The brutality of his actions shocked the nation when they were eventually reported. Once apprehended, Najima readily divulged the details of the murder, but was less willing to explain his motive. When asked, he would only break down in tears, saying, "I don't know what came over me, I know it was wrong." In the end, the police could extract nothing more from him than expressions of remorse. Although the efficiency of his methods strongly suggested he had committed similar crimes in the past, no corroborating evidence came to light. Najima was sentenced to life in prison at his first hearing. The sentence was imposed with no appeal from the defendant. Oh, Jesus Christ, that is not what I was expecting that guy to look like. Fumichika Najima. Sex male, occupation self-employed, curse echo none. The man who made the headlines over 2 decades ago as the perpetrator of the brutal killings known as the Najima murders. To be honest, it was all a bit of a blur. A wave of chaos just parting around me. Something like that. They said the rest of her body must have sunk to the bottom of the river. They combined the riverbed, but they only ever... they combed the riverbed, but they only ever found pieces. Everything else must have rotted and flowed out to sea. Afterwards, I heard that all the divers who had been looking for her fell ill. A sorry story for everyone involved, huh? It's funny. Everyone figures the river's filthy already, so one more piece of garbage won't hurt. But every little piece makes it worse. It's a vicious cycle. I know I wouldn't want to go rooting around down there myself. That's right, which is why the riverbed is the last place anybody would go looking. Or so was the killer's thinking, I suppose. The times were changing quickly back then. Things were confusing. Everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Young people were moving to Tokyo in droves. Some even ran away from home to make it in the big city. And they made easy targets for bad people. A lot of them ended up disappearing without a trace. You see, back then, if you chopped up a body into tiny pieces and threw it in the river, it would rot quickly and discreetly and sink to the bottom, never to be seen again. Are you saying what I think you're saying? They arrested him shortly after, Fumichika Najima, the man who killed my classmate and cut her into pieces. He was so methodical about it, it couldn't have been his first crime. And people began to wonder how many other girls he'd murdered the same way. The police never found any evidence of other murders in the end. But the river knows the truth. How many corpses has it swallowed up over the years, I wonder? That same thought spread through everyone's mind, and they started to avoid the area. So really, this river has been rank with corruption for decades now. Or at least, that's how it seems to me. Well, was that interesting? Well, I can see why you don't have any good memories of this river. With all that darkness lurking beneath the surface, there's no reason that you would. Still, if I may, ma'am, I'm surprised you know so much about the Najima murders. But how could I not? After all, I was the one who found the hand. The police actually wrote me a thank you letter. They said it was only thanks to me that they managed to bring Najima to justice. That it was the only time my father ever said he was proud of me. Huh. I guess it just wasn't the killer's day. Sometimes I wonder if he resents me for it. There's still more of the Sumida River that we can look at. We don't seem to be care about looking at the bridge. And obviously there's Richter himself. The Sumida River. I have nothing but awful memories of it. Okay, well, we're done with that then. Let's have a look at Richter here. He's gazing down at the water. Okay. What if we have a little think? Standing around is the last thing I want to be doing right now. This is my only chance to bring back my son. I can't afford it to fritter it away. You go first. Please, go ahead. Alright then. I've been poking around places connected to the Seven Mysteries looking for curse bearers, and I think I've found a few candidates. First, a tall man I ran into in Kinshibori Park. I asked him for directions, trying to probe him a little, but he turned the questions right back around on me. And he was out of there the second he figured I wasn't what he was looking for. I got the sense curses were nothing new to him. I'm about 40% sure he was a curse bearer. Then there's the middle-aged guy I saw on South Warigesui Street. There's no question about this one. He had one of the curse stones in his hand. He had a nervous air about him too. It was clear he was up to some shady business. Gathering soul dregs, I bet. He'd make a good target. Next up is a pair. A young man and woman I saw around Ryogoku Bridge. This time the man came up to me and asked flat out if I was a curse bearer. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about, and then he backpedaled and left. Looks like they lurk around there often. Looking for kindred spirits would be my guess. Though it didn't seem like they were quite working as a pair. Gathering soul dregs in a group might be a decent idea if you could make it work. But with things being how they are, it's got to be hard to find folks one can trust. They've got brass though. I don't know what their deal is, but I'd like to find out. Last is two detectives I've seen sniffing around. The police are involved? Not necessarily. A body turned up in a local park just a few days ago, so they might just be looking into that. Still, the park's got ties to one of the Seven Mysteries. Might be it was a curse that did the guy in. And if they're sending in detectives from head office, then something's got to be up. How do you know where they're from? Let's just say that when you're in this business, there are some faces you get to know. Anyway, that's everyone who's caught my eye. You found all of them in so little town. You really did hire the best. It's all in the name, ma'am. Richter Kai, P.I. No, wait. Make that Richter Kai, Investigator Extraordinaire. My, an Investigator Extraordinaire. Is that why you dressed like that, without drawing attention to yourself? You bet. An Investigator Extraordinaire can blend in like a chameleon in any outfit. Well, that aside, the middle-aged man and the young couple sound the most promising, am I right? Whichever we pick, it's still too early to make a move. It seems like the curse bearers are less involved with each other than we thought. Plus, there are still others we don't know about. I say we hang fire and see how things play out. Once more bodies start showing up, that'll get the pot nice and hot. And once it's boiling, our chance will come. Okay, standing around is the last thing she wants to do. There's something I need to tell you. What's up? Well, that girl, Michiyoshi Raishi? The one who was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping. That's her. Well. She's dead. She's what? The student who committed suicide last week. That was her. I heard something like that had happened. Never got the name, though. Talk about bad luck. We finally get a lead only to find it's turned into a literal dead end. Unless her death was the whole reason Jonouchi was so shaken up. He said he was going to curse him. Was he talking about her taking revenge from beyond the grave? It seems like we're back where we started. Not necessarily. That teacher knows something, I'm sure of it. At the very least, I'd put money on him having something to do with Miss Shiraichi's death. So that's why he's so scared of her being cursed by her. I see. And also, something tells me he knows more about your son's kidnapping. Mm-hmm. In any case, I think I've got a good idea of what he's hiding. Call it a hunch. A hunch? Well, more of a theory. Care to take a guess? I can guess. I can't say for certain, but... Mr. Jonouchi silenced Michio Shiraishi with a curse. What if Mr. Jonouchi silenced Michio Shiraishi with a curse? What do you think? Seemed to me that he was more scared of what someone else might do. And that might be a little far-fetched. Okay. Well, see, I'm sorry if I disappointed you. I'm not really cut out to play detective. Well, no point dwelling on speculation. The truth will out in time. Right now, I think we need to have another chat with Mr. Jonouchi. Is something wrong? Not really. It just struck me it's been 20 years since the Najima murders. So it has. Not to spook you or anything, but I thought you might be interested in knowing. Hmm? Life in prison doesn't always mean life. There's precedent for first-time offenders being allowed out on parole after 20 years. Only if they're found to show remorse and desire to reform themselves, of course. That's right. I'm impressed you know so much. Still, it's hard for someone with a criminal record to reintegrate into society. I hear they've been trying to fix that recently, matching inmates with jobs and accommodation. Oh, really? They keep an eye on them, of course, and make them report in for regular checkups. But to avoid discrimination, they keep inmates' records a secret from everyone but their employers. They even give particularly notorious criminals new identities, so they won't be recognized in the workplace. My. The way you put it, it sounds like you're saying Fumichika Najima could be out on parole right now. Back in society under a new name, with nobody any the wiser. It's possible. As it happens, a little birdie told me about a big name making parole a few months back. I don't know if that was Najima, but our discussion just now did bring it to mind. I see. How unsettling. Now that you mention it, I just remembered something too. What was it? I was passing by Komagata High School a little while ago when I saw someone. A janitor, I think. He could have I could have sworn he reminded me of Fumichika Najima. Oh? He looked a little different after 20 years. Much thinner than I remembered, too. I told myself I was just seeing things. But perhaps it was him after all. So, what next? The big question now is what the rest of the curse bearers are up to. Luckily, the Sumida River is a good distance from any of the Seven Mysteries. It's unlikely that the other curse bearers will come all the way here. I can finally have a moment to think. I see. Alright. Suspend. You cannot currently progress any further. Once your situation has changed, select resume to try again. Pressing suspend will return you to the story chart. Okay. We'll suspend there, and we're going to save, and we're going to call that a day. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. It's been fun. I'm really digging this game, and I want to play more of it. Unfortunately, I have things to do today, so I have got to go and do those. I will be back tomorrow with another stream, so keep an eye out. Follow the channel. to get alerts to see when I go live, because I don't know what time that's going to be. I genuinely don't. I've got things to do tomorrow as well. I'm a busy man. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Go check out the YouTube channel for all the streams and videos that we've got up there. Check out the podcast, also up on YouTube, and whatever good podcatcher app you might have. But that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye!